Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Puranana, Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavat Pada, Shankaram Loka Shankaram, Shankaram Shankaracharyam, Keshavam Badarayanam, Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande, Bhagavantav Punah Punah. See, we are doing Upadesha Sahasri and we have completed the Buddhi Aparadha Prakaranam. Today we are going to see Vishesha Apoha Prakaranam. Vishesha Apoha Prakaranam. And I am receiving all your messages. Please, thank you very much for all your messages. And if you have any questions, and you can ask those questions in the comment section and I will try to answer them. Thank you. Today we are going to see the last verse of the Buddhi Aparadha Prakaranam. And I will give the connection, but then Vishesha Apoha Prakaranam, I am going to start. Here, what we need to understand is anything that is objectifiable is not its existence, even though it looks to be existent, it is not meant for itself. It is meant for the conscious being. The whole creation is meant for the conscious being. The inert, the objectifiable is meant for the unobjectifiable. The unobjectifiable is not meant for somebody else. The unobjectifiable is swartha, and parartham. And the objectifiable is parartham. Parartham means it is meant for the swartham. And therefore, swartham does not mean selfishness here. It is for itself. The unobjectifiable is Atma is for itself. Atma is an end in itself, whereas the objectifiables are used by the unobjectifiable. This is what we have to see. And therefore, the body is meant for the Atma. The senses are meant for the Atma. My thoughts are meant for the Atma. And the Atma is not meant for them. The Atma is not meant for another Atma. Atma is not meant for. Atma is an end in itself, please. What does it mean, Swamiji? It is an end in itself. It is not used by anything else. That's what you have to understand. It's not used by anything else. The objectifiable is used by the unobjectifiable, whereas the unobjectifiable is not used by anything. That is what is called swartham. It exists for itself. It is an end in itself. And therefore, it is an absolute thing. And this is exactly idamamsha. The bodiness is idamamsha. When the body is disproved, you cannot negate it through anything else. You can only negate the body through disproval. That I am the nova, I am the jnaha, and the body is known. The knownness must be clear, please. We take it for granted that it is known. It is not really known. If it is known well, then the known is disproved. The known doesn't qualify the knower, please. No knower is qualified by, no knower is qualified by the known. No known can qualify the knower. And therefore, and idamamsha, when it is disproved, when the body is disproved, you come to experience the paraha iti. It is said here in the last verse of Buddhi Aparadha Prakaranam. Idamamsha prahanena paraha saha anubhavo bhavet. This last line is there. But you don't experience that. You only recognize what is experienced. This is a very big problem, Ji. I have to experience the truth, etc., etc. That is wrong. What is not within your experience, you can never experience it. What is not, what is within your experience, you don't have to re-experience again. You only recognize what is within your experience. And therefore, paraha is, your paratvam is recognized. Your being not the body when it is. Your being the body is not true. If it is disproved, your being the body is disproved, and your being the Brahman is understood, is recognized. And there it is not experienced. That it is within experience is recognized. And you may say that I experience it. You don't experience it. That is a wrong statement, please. You only recognize what is within experience. And therefore, the truth is already within experience. And therefore, and that is why that truth, you don't experience a second time. You only recognize that you're being the truth. You only your the idamamsha is the body. The body, the objectifiability of the body is called idamamsha. Prahanena means by negating. By negating means not by will, by disproving it. By no, in the light of your existence, in the light of your when the knower is known, then the known cannot qualify the knower. When this is understood, the known is disproved and the knower is recognized as Brahman. Vishesha apoha prakaranam. Vishesha means adjectives. Apoha means negation. Prakaranam means a section. Here is the section in which all the adjectives are negated from the Atma. Because man always thinks that I am qualified, I am the body, I am the senses, I am the thinker, I am the breather. These are all qualifications. I am tall, I am short, I am fat, I am lean. These are all qualifications. But these qualifications and the way to understand the truth is not by putting some adjectives in it, but by saying, but by thinking, but by understanding that the aham has no adjectives at all. Every adjective belongs to some objectifiable noun. Like greenness is an adjective of a tree, then blueness is an adjective of nilotpalam. Utpalam means lily. Nilotpalam is a blue lily. Blueness is an adjective of the lily. And similarly, the tree is tall. The tree is it has its girth. Girth is an adjective. Tree is a noun. Girth is an adjective, and greenness is an adjective. There is a noun-adjective relationship, and that kind of noun and therefore the truth is not a noun. It is only the truth. It is not a noun with adjectives. It is a noun without any adjectives. It is a noun without any adjectives, please. It cannot be called even a noun, and therefore, because every noun must have adjectives, and therefore it is not a noun, because it doesn't have any adjectives. That it is free from the body, that it is free from the thought, is the only way to understand the self, by negation. Nedam, nedam, nedam. It is not this, it's not any objectifiable truth. The truth, the aham is not, the me is not the objectifiable. Due to avidya, the objectifiability is seen. I objectify myself. I am deha. I objectify myself. In this manner, in avidya, one thinks, but in actuality, it is unobjectifiable. Chitva tyaktena hastena. Chitva means by cutting, by way of cutting. Chitva tyaktena, and you cut your arm, your hand, and throw it away. Let us say it is amputated. Due to some problem, it is amputated. Your hand is cut and thrown away. Taktena hastena swayam na atma viseshyate. You are not qualified. You can't say this is me. That hand is me. You can't say that. This body, in the same manner, this hand is me. Anything that you throw it away, it is me. You can't say. You can't say. A hand that is cut and amputated and then thrown away, there is no identification with that hand. There is no adhyasa with that hand. I am that hand. You can't say that. But in the same manner, chitva tyaktena hastena swayam na at swayam, by itself, not atma visishyate. Atma is not qualified. Atma, you are not qualified by the amputated hand. Tatha sishtena sarvena yena yena viseshyate. In the same manner, you are not qualified by the remaining parts of the body also. That is how it is said by the Shruti. That is just as Tektena Hastena, you don't say that I am this hand. If it is amputated and thrown away in the waste basket, this is me, you can't say. that adhyasa is gone. It is in the same manner, this body also is not yours. The remaining parts of the body also are not yours, are not you, are not you. Tatha srishtena sarvena, yena yena viseshyate. Yena yena means the remaining parts. Srishtena sarvena. Srishtena means the remaining. Sarvena means by all. Yena yena means by all the limbs. Viseshyate. It is not in the same manner, you are not qualified by the remaining parts of the body. Just as you are not qualified by the cut off hand, the amputated hand. In the same manner, you are not qualified by this body. In Sushupti, there is no, you don't feel that you are the body. The thought that I am the body is not there in Sushupti. In death also, it's not there. And therefore, that I am the body, this thought is not there. It's not disproved in Sushupti. Sushupti is not a state of disproval. Sushupti is a state in which the truth can exist without the feeling that I am the body. It is a state of the truth, please. It is not a state of understanding. It is not a state of ignorance. It is a state of being the truth. That the truth is something that can exist without the thought that I am the body. And in the death also, there is no thought that I am the body. Similarly, before the birth also, there was no thought that I am the body. And therefore, this thought that I am the body is due to avidya. Avidya means even though it is anadi, avidya is anadi, but because this jiva does not look at himself, he does not discern between deha and himself, and therefore it continues to exist. And therefore it's called atma anatma viveka abhavaha. Atma anatma viveka abhavaha is the reason for this adhyasa. Why there is adhyasa? You can't say it came about. It cannot be traced to time. You can't say it came about. You can't say it will come about. It is there. The adhyasa is there because man doesn't think. He doesn't discern between himself. Like illiteracy. Why does it continue? Because he doesn't study himself. He doesn't learn anything. And therefore the illiteracy continues. Illiteracy, you can't put the illiteracy in any time. You can't say that it can be traced to any particular second. At this second it has come about. Illiteracy and ignorance has no birthplace. Ignorance is anadi. Avidya is anadi, but it continues because it remains with me, because I always feel that I am a jiva. I always feel that I am the deha, because I don't discern between my existence and deha. Tatha srishtena sarvena yena yena viseshyate. Viseshyate means is qualified. Viseshyate means it is not qualified. It's not na viseshyate. It's not being qualified. They both mean the same thing. Viseshyate, it is not made qualified. It's not made viseshyate. It's not made qualified. Srishtena sarvena yena yena viseshyate. Just as it's not qualified by the hand that is cut off, amputated, in the same manner, the remaining limbs also don't qualify it. They don't qualify this truth. And therefore, the unqualified means the absolute. The unqualified is your existence, please. You are not a noun with adjectives. You are not a noun. You are the reality. You are Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And therefore, being the source of everything, as the knower, you are not qualified by the known. The known doesn't qualify the knower, please. This is what you have to think. You have to reflect. The known doesn't qualify the one who knows. Therefore, the known doesn't qualify the knower. The anatma doesn't qualify the atma. If the anatma were to qualify the atma, then which anatma would qualify? You can't say, is it the space? Is it the air? Then you can only see them once. And one, if they qualify the atma, then the atma should have its adjectives. Akashatvam in Sushupti, in the death also, it should stick. Akasha should stick to the atma. The air should stick to atma. And any pleasure, if it were an adjective of atma, it should stick to Atma in Sushupti and in the death also. But it is not so. Tasmat Tektena Hastena Tulyam Sarvam Viseshanam. Tasmat, therefore, Tektena Hastena Tulyam. It is equal to the thrown away hand. Sarvam Viseshanam, the whole creation. The whole creation, which you think that it is my adjective, the body that I am adjective, the body qualifies me, and anything that I take myself, the children qualify me. I am the grandfather, I am the father, I am the grandfather, etc. That relationship also becomes an adjective, and therefore Viseshanam, and therefore Tulyam Sarvam Viseshanam. In this manner, man thinks that I am a father, a grandfather, etc. But actually, even that relationship doesn't qualify the Atma. The relationship also doesn't qualify. Anatmatvena. And because it is anatma, it is not other than, it is other than Atma. Anatmatvena, because it doesn't qualify the Atma because it is anatma, it is other than Atma. It is unlike the Atma, it is other than Atma. But they are not parallel place. There is no division between Atma and Anatma. Because Atma is Kritsnaha. It is Sarva Upasamharakatvam. It includes everything. Like the water, there is no division between the wave and the water. The wave doesn't qualify water. The waveness doesn't qualify water. The waveness is Kalpitam. It's amazing, Ji. Something unimaginable. The waveness doesn't qualify the waterness. Waterness continues to be unqualified by the waveness. The waterness is there in every wave, but in the same manner, anatmatvena, there is no division between water and the wave. Why? Because they are not parallel to each other. There is non-separable ananyatvam. The mithya is ananya with the satyam. The mithya, even though it is a wave, I call it a wave, it is being water. That waveness is not parallel to waterness. The waveness is ananya with the waterness. In the same manner, anatmatvena, tasmat, therefore, jnaha, the conscious being, muktaha, is ever free, sarvaihi viseshanahi, by all the adjectives. He is free from all the adjectives. You can't think of any adjective, anything, no objectifiable. Every objectifiable thing is a noun with adjectives. Every objectifiable thing is a noun with adjectives. But it doesn't qualify the one who knows, the one who is aware of it. What is awared doesn't qualify the one who is aware. And therefore, he is nirvisesham. He is nirvisesham. In Sushupti, you are nirvisesham. In death also, you are nirvisesham. Saviseshatvam is the thought of Saviseshatvam is snapped. It goes into unmanifest state. And it becomes manifest again when the person takes the next body. That is a different thing. Or when a person wakes up, it becomes manifest. And in fact, the manifestation of that thought is what is called waking up. The manifestation of that thought that I am the Deha is what is called waking up. And therefore, he is not a noun with adjectives. He is a truth, inclusive of all the mithya, all the false things. The waveness is not something that is Vacharambanam Vikaranamdeyam. Mritika Ityeva Satyam, it is said. Even the pot is there. Pot is being the clay. I call it as another, as though as another entity, but it is not another entity. It is being clay. The pot is being clay. Then why do I call it a pot? Vacharambanam Vikaranamdeyam. It started with, it is only a word and a thought. I view it as a pot and I call it a pot. That is why it is called Vacharambanam Vikaraha. Vikaraha means the creation is only Vacharambanam. I only call it pot, but I view it as a pot. I call it as a pot. I may use it as a pot. I may sell it as a pot. I may buy it as a pot. I may bring water from a pot. It may be useful. Usefulness is a part of the usefulness is an adjective of the pot, please. It should not be used as a, because it is useful, it is real. You can't say that. Its usefulness is its adjective. It is being a clay. despite its solidity, despite its usefulness, despite its being called a pot, despite its being useful, it is still being clay. In the same manner, the wave also may be external to me, solid, it may look solid, but it may be useful for me, and yet it is being water. In the same manner, Jagat is being only myself. Jagat, there is no object which is something that can exist independent of your knowledge. Tasmat tyaktena hastena tulyam sarvam viseshanam. And therefore the entire viseshanam that we objectify, the entire viseshanam that we think that it belongs to Atma, it is like it is not a viseshanam. What we think as the adjective of ourselves is not our adjective. Anatmatvena, because it is anatma. If it is not me, anatmatvena tasmat, therefore, jnaha muktaha sarvaihi viseshanahi. Tasmat jnaha muktaha sarvaihi viseshanahi. Quotable quote ji. Tasmat, therefore, jnaha, the one who knows, muktaha is free. Sarvaihi viseshanahi, by all, from all adjectives. Sarvaihi viseshanahi means whether it is physical or it is oral or mental, from all adjectives, it is free. It is free from. And therefore, Visheshanam idam sarvam sadhu alankaranam yadha. You put on ornaments, please. Sadhu alankaranam means the good ornaments. Sadhu alankaranam. Alankaranam means you decorate yourself. You deck yourself. You decorate you put on ornaments. And those ornaments you can't call as me. You may call them as mine, but you can't call them as me. When you say it is me, then it becomes your adjective. It's not me. You can't say they are me. The ornaments are me. Your neck is, you say the neck is yours, the body is yours, and the ornaments are not yours, are not you. The body is you. But then the Shastra says, even the body is not you. The ornaments leave alone. The ornaments are, just as the ornaments are not you, the body also is not you. Just as your own hand that is cut and thrown away is not you, in the same manner, the body also is not you. Visheshanam idam sarvam sadhu alankaranam yatha. Sadhu alankaranam means the bhushanam. Just as the ornaments you decorate yourself, but they are not, you don't have the view that they are me. They are not me. You may call them as mine, but they are not me. And therefore they are not your adjectives, please. Just as the ornaments are not your adjectives, this body also is not your adjective. Why? Because it is anatma. It is objectifiable. Because it is objectifiable, it doesn't qualify the objectifier. The knower is never qualified by the known. The known doesn't qualify the knower, please. This you have to understand somehow or other. Avidya adhyasataha sarvam. The entire Visheshanam is there. I look upon the body as my Visheshanam. I say I am tall, I am short, I am fat, I am lean, I am grey haired, I am middle aged, etc. I am old, I am young, etc. You say it is only adhyasataha. Sarvam adhyasataha. It is all because of adhyasa. Adhyasa means you avidya adhyasaha. It's all because of superimposition. Superimposition means, please don't use the word superimposition without understanding. Superimposition means like the snake is superimposed upon the rope. You see the snake. Misconception is called superimposition, please. You misconceive the fact for something else. It happens to be the rope. You call it a snake. It is being, even when I see it as a snake, it is being the rope, please. It is never being the snake. Even when I call the snake, even when I say that it is a snake, even at that time it is being only rope. And therefore, even when you say yourself to be the body, you are not being the body, please. You are not being the body. Even though you say I am reborn, etc., I am born, etc., you are not being born. You are not being born. Nothing qualifies you. Avidya adhyasataha sarvam. Jnate Atmane, Jnate Atmani, when the self is understood as other than the body, Asad Bhavet, the all that is, when you understand the rope, the snake is understood as false. False means it is an error, please. Falsity means an error. It is an erroneous perception. It was an erroneous thought. I even when I call it a snake, it is being the rope, and therefore its ropeness alone is the satyam. Its being the snake is asat bhavet. Just as when the rope is understood as rope, the snakeness becomes asat, is understood also as asat. In the same manner, here also, when the unobjectifiable is understood, when the aham is understood as non-separate, it is separate from the deha becomes asad bhavet. It is, I am not deha. I am not deha. When this is understood, deha becomes asat. When the deha becomes asat, the whole creation is asat. Anything that is anatma is asat. And therefore, jnate atmani asat bhavet. This is very important. Ji. Jnate atmani, when the self is understood, asat bhavet. Asat bhavet means the whole anatma becomes asat. It is anatma, all right, but it is understood when the jnate atmani, when the self is withdrawn, when the self is understood as non-deha, the deha becomes falsified. It is disproved. That is what is called falsification, disproval. That means it has no existence independent of the jnaha, and therefore independent of the knower, the known cannot exist. You cannot prove the existence of the known independent of the knower. You prove one object, please. One object. The akasha is there. Because I am aware of it and therefore it is there. Not because it is there and therefore I am aware of it. This is adhyasa. It is there, the world is there, and therefore I am aware of it. This is wrong. I am aware of it and therefore it is there. I'm aware of the space. If you say it is there, what is the proof? Then again you have to say that I am aware of it. I'm aware of it. Not that you become aware of it later on. Your being aware of it itself is its existence. Similarly, Dehoham also is in the same manner. I see myself as Deha and therefore I feel I am Deha. I see myself as Deha. That is called a distortion of the truth. Please. I'm sorry, there was some disturbance on the TV, on the what is it called? Computer, on the computer, yes. And therefore, please forgive me. Therefore, you can't prove any object. We always think they are there, and therefore I see them. It is wrong, please. This is what is most important in Vedanta. That is, it is not that the objects are there and therefore you see them. You see them and therefore they are there. It is not that they are there and therefore you see it. That is Vyavaharikam. We take it for granted they are there, and therefore I see it. It is wrong. If they are there, and what is the proof? Then again you have to come and say, because it is I experience. That means your experience is the pramana. You experience them. Beyond experience, they have no existence. Beyond being experienced, they have no existence, please. And therefore, they are all non-separate from the experience, your existence. Asti bhati priyam rupam namachet chamsha panchakam. The asti and bhati and asti bhati priyam, that it is satyam jnanam anantam, is its nature. Rupam and nama amsha panchakam. Adyatrayam brahma rupam. The first three are brahma rupam, jagad rupam, tatodvayam. And the last two are indeed the objectifiable part of the jagat. Jagatness, the objectness, the objectifiability is indeed anatma. And the material for the anatma is atma only. The material for anatma is atma. And therefore, the waveness is different from waterness. There is no division but there is only dissimilarity, please. In the same manner, anatmatvam and atmatvam they are different from each other. They are dissimilar, but at the same time, the anatma is non-separate from the atma. The atma is not non-separate from anatma, but the anatma is non-inseparable, the ananya from the atma. This is what we have to understand. Amara Guruji also used to say in Fiki auditorium, the body is me, but I am not the body. The body is me. The body is non-separate from me, but I am not the body. I am not the body. The aham is not the body, because atma is atmatvena. It is other than the anatma. It is other than, and it is unlike. Atma is something, aham is something, that is a conscious being. And therefore, you can't say it is there and therefore I view it, I see it. That is wrong. It is there and therefore I know it. That is Vyavahara. In Vyavahara, one thinks that you take it for granted that they are there and then you know it. But really, you know it, and knowing it itself is its existence. You can't prove its existence beyond being known to you, independent of your knowledge. And therefore, every object is knowledge only. Every object is your knowledge, is not your knowledge, it is knowledge. Every object is knowledge. And when every object is knowledge, and then it's not that it is there and then you see, you know it. No. You know it because when it is there, and therefore I know it. This is wrong. Why? Because independent of your knowledge, independent of knowledge, it can't exist. I have to tell you, I have to ask you, please prove it, that its existence. If it exists independent of knowledge, then it should be there, even without your knowledge. It should be. When it is not known, what is the proof that it is there? What is the proof that it is there? The dream, what is the proof that it was there? My knowledge, I saw it. Similarly, the snake is there. What is the proof that you say the snake is there? What is the proof that it is there? It's my knowledge. And therefore, independent of knowledge, the snake has no existence. Independent of knowledge, no object has any existence. And therefore, every objectifiable object is nothing but knowledge. And even the whole object is knowledge, but the objectifiability of the object is disproved. The objectifiability of the object is disproved. The objectifiability of the object is anatma, whereas the unobjectifiability of the material, oneself, is the atma, and the object is inseparable from atma. And therefore, jnata eva atma sadagrahya. The jnata, the knowing self alone, has to be taken into account. One has to think of the knowing self. The knowing self is different from grahya, has to be taken. Jnayam utsrijya kevalaha. Jnayam utsrijya kevalaha. Atma has to be grahya. Kevalaha. You have to only see the Atma is alone. Atma is not something, it is made of parts. It is Kevalaha. Kevalaha is called, it is indivisible. Indivisibility is the highlight of the truth, please. Indivisibility. And therefore, Jnayam means the object, Utsrijya, having discerned it from. Utsrijya means having renounced it, having disproved it. Jnayam Utsrijya. Utsrijya means having negated it by disproval. You can't negate it without disproving. And therefore, Jnayam Utsrijya Kevalaha Atma Grahyaha. Kevalaha Jnata eva Atma Sada Grahyaha. You have to accept only the Atma, you have to see yourself only as the Atma, as the Sadaiva, always. Sadaiva Atma eva Grahyaha. Atma eva means your existence alone has to be looked at, minus the anatma, minus the jnayam. Jnayam means something that can be objectified. The objectifier He is not qualified by any objectified object. Ahamityapi yad grahyam, whatever is known as aham, whatever is ahamityapi, me, that me is not there in Sushupti. That me-ness is not there in Jagrat. Because this me is there only when idam is there. That relationship is what is called the anatma. That relationship has to be bracketed with the object. And therefore, ahamityapi yad grahyam vipeta anga samam hi tat. Vipeta anga samam hi. It is equal to vipeta, the removed limb, the removed hand from your body. It is, that means what it doesn't, it is not you. Similarly, even this aham, the shabda, the idea that I am me, that the idea that me, also the idea of that me also is not there when the atma is understood. It is not a part of the truth, because it is a relationship. When the idam is there, undisproved, then when aham is seen as related to the idam, then you say aham, me. When the idam is there undisproved, the aham looks like aham. But when the idam is disproved, along with it, the relationship also is disproved. Then the aham ceases to be aham. Aham remains only the absolute. Aham is Param Brahma. Like in Sushupti, you transcend the objects. You transcend your relationship with them also. When you transcend your relationship, you don't feel that I am asleep. Me, that me-ness, that ahamness is gone. That ahamness is nothing but that relationship. When the idam is there undisproved, in relation to that idam, the truth looks like aham. The truth looks like aham. But when the idam is disproved along with the relationship, then the aham is not aham. Aham remains the absolute place. And therefore, ahamityapi yad grahyam vipetanga samam hitat. It is equal to vipeta anga samam hitat. Tat means that relation, that aham also is that objectifiability, that I am the body, that when I take myself to be the objectifiable, I take myself to be objectifiable, and as objectifiable, I look like aham. But that aham is disproved also. That aham also is disproved, like the hand that is cut off and thrown away. You don't have the idea that I am that hand. And in the same manner, this aham pratyaya, this aham also is like that cut off hand. It is anatma. It does not really qualify you. That is only a relationship, please. Aham is a relationship. Aham pratyaya, it is an identification and then a relationship. Of course, I am deha is called. I am not talking about vanity. I am not talking about ego. Ego as a vanity. Vanity. People, when they use the word ego, they think that it is a kind of a vanity. But ego is not. I am not talking about attitudes. I am talking about perception, the thought that I am the body. This conclusion. This is called aham. And when the body is when I am not the body, when I take myself to be the when I don't take myself to be the body, and then when I see myself, when there is no relationship between me and the world also, then aham is not aham. Aham remains Paramatma. Aham remains Paramatma. And therefore, even the aham is something that is like a cut off hand. And the more of it we will see in the next class. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ठीक है जी.